Moving to Israel? Awesome. Acclimated to life here? Not as awesome. Welcome to Oleh Chadash Toolbox Talks, where co-hosts Ofer Nachshon, CEO of Aliyaha Paveway, and Sid Slivko meet twice a month to discuss with different service providers around the country tips and tricks to help you acclimate to your life here in Israel.
Welcome to another Aliyaha Paveway Toolbox Talks. I'm Sid Slivko. With me is Ofer Nachshon, CEO of Aliyaha Paveway. Joining us today is interior designer Mallory Serebrin, who also runs the Design Hub, which is a shared workspace where designers and creatives can work on their solo projects, build their businesses, and inspire each other to collaborate on projects for clients. Mallory is a graduate of the Pratt Institute School of Design and Art and has lived in Jerusalem since 1993, where she taught and worked in clay for over 20 years. And now she uses her extensive knowledge of art and design and her feel for space and color to help a wide range of clients to create the right atmospheres for their homes and offices. Mallory, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good to have you here. And I know I gave a little bit of an intro, but can you explain in your own words what it is that you do for the clients?
Sure. So like you said, I've been here for a little over 30 years. And design and art and space is my passion. I'm also very much a people person, and I'm extremely organized. So putting all those things together, I've created a business that really facilitates mostly people from America, English speakers, the English-speaking community, help them to create their home in Israel. I have, worked over the years to create a real method of doing that, and also, creating relationships. Everything about this is about relationships, even, what we're doing in the home. So that's what I'm mainly doing. In terms of the Design Hub, which was my ceramic studio for 20 years, when I transitioned into full-time interior design, I wanted to create a community space where people of creative backgrounds, or specifically designers and architects, could have a place to meet, to rent a space. I rent out several private spaces, and also for professional development. I run lunch and learns for designers. The public is also invited to join those once a month, where we really get together and learn something together and share our time together and create a community.
As I understood, most of your customers are Olim Chadashim, and people who came to Israel. So what do you think? It's better to buy most of the things here, or it's better to bring them over from where they're coming from?
So life and property and space in Israel is very different than it is in the States or Canada. People are used to very big apartments, very big houses, lots of room. And unless you're building a house out in some community where there's a lot of land, apartments are small here, relatively small. So we don't often recommend that our clients bring all of their furniture, certainly not the appliances, because there's no, the electrical system here is different. It's possible to buy your American appliances there and have them shipped here on special, with special current. But living here and moving here sort of also means kind of adjusting to, the standards that we have. But that being said, if there are things that you love, you should bring them, because that's who you are. That's what you love. If you have this favorite couch, or, Granny's old buffet, you should bring that, because that gives you joy. So anything that is, important to you. I don't know how important your oven is, but we can certainly, work around any of those things. What's really the most important thing for me is that my clients are living in something that works for them and is, will make it beautiful anyway, but it needs to work, and it needs to work in the way they need it to work. If they bake 16 challahs, every Friday, so then, yeah, we might need a bigger oven or two. We can figure out the solutions for those kinds of things.
I'm not sure how to be able to translate this to a potential client, but my question is, when you think in terms of design, what kind of budget does one need in Israel to design a nice home?
So there's a lot of factors in that. Of course, the size of the space that you're considering, a sort of standard. We also speak in centimeters and meters, and not in inches. So that's always, something to get used to. And we have like our tape measures that have bowl,
Very
because
important.
I don't think in I only think in centimeters now. I don't think in inches and feet. So we have to do some translating in that way. But a regular sort of 3-bedroom apartment might be around 100 or 110 square meters. I don't know what that is in square feet, 1,200, something like that. I'm not sure. It depends on the size, and it depends on what needs to be done. If you're doing something from a new build, right? Something from what we call a kablan apartment, from a new construction, and it's a 4-room apartment. It will also depend if there were changes that need to be made in terms of moving walls or moving bathrooms or anything. Depends on also what stage I come in on the project. And then there are just renovations, like you find a beautiful apartment you love, but it just needs a complete gut. So if I want to speak in dollars, I would say the minimum would be $100,000 to do that kind of work. And, it can just go up from there. It depends on the quality that you're looking for. I always have my good, better, best lists of what you can expect. There are different ranges that people are, prepared to spend or can spend. If my clients are on a budget, we do a budget, and we still make it beautiful and livable. But, so it has a variation in that.
Where do you think it's the best time to be in touch with you if someone wants his house to be designed?
I would say as early on in the process as possible. Sometimes I even have clients who ask me to come and look at new properties with them, so that I can give them my my input on that. Some people contact me already after they've purchased it, and have thoughts on it. And some people just even at the furnishing stage, where they've already purchased the apartment, even maybe moved in, but they haven't gotten anything of substance. They still need furniture, they still need closets, they still need artwork. And because really, when you come here, it's very hard to know where to go, what's a good price, what's a good quality. And that's my job. I do that all day long, every day, and with a lot of joy. And that's something that a service that I can provide at any time.
Following this question, how long does it take to hold this project to get to be alive?
Again, something that has a lot of factors involved. Design and construction is a very dynamic process. There are a lot of people involved and a lot of moving parts. And like we like to say, designers have a million details to take care of and to consider. So one is when is it available if it's something that's being renovated? When do you get the keys, we say? When do you get the keys for either a new build or for an apartment that you currently own or want to buy that exists already? And, you know, bearing we don't have COVID or we don't have a war where things become, you know, challenging, you know, you can expect, you know, again, it depends a lot on the builder, but usually about 6 months to a year for a new build. Again, it depends on when I come in. I've come in on projects where they're nearly done, and I haven't needed to change any walls or anything. And then we start designing the kitchen and the carpentry and all of that stuff. And, you know, it can take, you know, if they say you're going to get the keys in February, you might get them in June. Just, if they're never on time. And I really tell my clients to really modify their expectations, or to, you know, to really understand that it isn't a country where things happen exactly when you think they are. So we, you know, always good to have backup plans, and they do get finished, and they do it, but it takes time sometimes, and almost never do they finish when they say they are.
You mentioned before that you're a people person. So how well do you need to know your client in order to design for them?
The more you know your client and understand them, the better design you're going to do for them. You know, being a designer is a very intimate business. You know, I look in their underwear drawers. I know where their underwear goes. I know where their, you know, what they want in a shower, you know, everything. So it does require that, you know, we create a relationship with each other. And, you know, this is a process that is what I say is a collaboration. It's really a collaboration between me and my clients. I want to do my best work for them, and the more information they can give to me, the better I will be able to give them what they need and want.
How does the design hub dynamic work for the client's advantage?
So it's a very common thing that designers work at home because you can just, you know, make a little office or sit on your kitchen table. However, when you need to meet your client and they need to come and see some plans, that means you got to run around and clean up your house. So the design hub really is a space that is already cleaned up and looks great. And it's also, I have as you can see, a big materials library with all the samples of things that we would need to discuss with our clients. Not everything, but a lot of things. Besides that, there's a big main space with a big screen, so I can sit with my clients and show them on the big screen the floor plans that we can go over. And, you know, I'm able to lay out all the options for materials there. It's just a center for designers and architects to be able to meet with their clients and have it all right there in a really comfortable environment. And it's also
Maybe,
just say it's in Talpiot, where we can walk everywhere to go shopping. So it's really located right in the center of the shopping area.
maybe you can say in few more words, what is the difference between the design hub and places like WeWork?
Well, they're similar in their idea, which is that it is a space to work with other people, alongside other people, where you can rent a space, or you can, you know, have different kinds of spaces available. The design hub was my brainchild to make it specifically for designers and architects, so that they would have all the resource material that's specific to our industry. And just to be like-minded, you know, I can't tell you how many times I have one little question that I want to bounce off somebody, and I can just walk, you know, over to somebody's office and, you know, tap on the door and say, can I just run this by you? And it's really great. It's really great. We've learned a lot from each other. I'm a big believer in, you know, it's always better to be around other people to bounce your ideas off of. And a lot of us, I mostly just work in my office by myself, but just knowing that there are other people out there creates a kind of energy that is productive and, exciting.
Can you share a story, something from your experience that you think our viewers might like to hear?
So one of our main jobs as designers also is to solve problems. There is, like I said, a million details, and some of them we've encountered before, lots of them we haven't, and sometimes there are new ones that we have never encountered before. So one thing that one learns to think about is doorways. I had a client recently who bought an apartment in the center of Jerusalem on the 21st floor. And I bought them some beautiful furniture and a nice 3-meter couch. When it was time to deliver the couch, we realized we couldn't get it in the door and started trying to figure out all the options. There's it's called a manof, which is something that brings things up outside, up to the window, but we're on the 21st floor, so we couldn't get a manof for a 21st floor. And there were many, many, many discussions and racking my brain. And finally, we came to actually quite easy solution, which was they took it to the factory, took the arms off the couch, brought the couch in, and then reassembled it inside the apartment. So that was something recently that I had to deal with that was a little funny and a little challenging. A couple of interesting things that I'll be doing for the public for free. I have 2 free webinars coming up. One will be on designing and renovating in Israel. For those of you who might be thinking of buying an existing property, or even you've already got your hands on a property and want to know what that process is like, and how might I be able to help you with that, or things that you need to think about before coming. That will be on Sunday, January 21st, 8 a.m. On West Coast time, 11 a.m. on the East Coast time. That's Sunday. And then on Sunday, February 11th, I will be doing the same hours, 8 and 11, with Ilana Nelson, a fabulous a real estate agent that I work with. And we do design and buy. People who are interested in looking for something to buy and haven't connected yet with a real estate agent, or want information on how one does that, that will be available also on February 11th on Sunday. So hope you can join.
And I thank you for sharing that. And I thank you very much, Mallory, for sharing all your insights today on our Toolbox Talks podcast. This is a reminder to our viewers that Mallory is an Aliyah Paveway service provider, one of the more than 38 trusted service providers that are on our website, which is at aliyahpaveway.com. And I invite you to come and browse our site and find more insights, more ideas, and more helpful hints on making your aliyah. And on behalf of Ofer Nachshon and myself and everyone here at Aliyah Paveway, we wish you all an easy klita and a wonderful day. Shalom from Israel.
Thanks for joining. As always, Olim Chadashim, we're here to help you. aliyahpaveway.com